Hey guys, this is Cooper from Team Underground Next, coming at you today with an Elemental Hero collection binder. Before we get into the binder, I wanted to thank everybody who contributed to this collection by either trades or searching them out and alerting me to them. I definitely couldn't have done it without you guys, so thank you so very much. Alright, onto the collection itself. On the first page here, we've got the iconic Elemental Heroes. Flame Wingman, Thunder Giant, Rampart Blaster, Tempest, Shining Flare Wingman, Wild Edge, Mudball Man, Electrum, and Steam Healer. The way this is divided up is that these are some of the heroes that were used early on in the show. Kind of the cutoff point here is Electrum, as far as like season 1 heroes, I believe. I'm not sure if Electrum was in season 1 or 2, but I knew that he was towards the front of the show, so that's why he made it into the first page here. And then starting with Steam Healer and moving on to the second page are cards that Jade and Yuki used later in the show, and then cards that Astro Phoenix used as well. Starting off the second page after Steam Healer is Phoenix Enforcer and Shining Phoenix Enforcer. These guys are pretty cool. They're like another version of Flame Wingman and Shining Flare Wingman. Of course, these are the ones Jaden used, and these are the ones that Astro Phoenix has used. When I was a little kid watching the show, I didn't quite grasp the concept of an anti-hero. So I thought these guys were not as cool as these guys. But as you grow up, you live and learn, and you find out that, and at least in this case, that these guys have some depth to them as far as the character Astro Phoenix goes. And then for the rest of the page, we've got Darkbright, Mariner, Necroid Shaman, Wild Wingman, Plasma Vice, and Neospatian Marine Dolphin, and Neospatian Twinkle Moss. Those guys are there because they are fusion cards related to the archetype. They're just upgraded Neospatians. But Darkbright, he was used later on in the show. He's a great fusion between Necroshade and Sparkman. I really like his design with the black electricity behind him in the blue sky. Mariner and Necroid Shaman are two cards that I definitely believe should get the holo treatment. Right now, the only way you can find them is in common form. There might be a rare running out there. I'm not sure, but I know they're definitely not holo, and I really wish they were because they have great artwork, and I'd like to see them shiny. But for now, common and a non-rare or non-holo is what we got. And then Wild Wingman. I remember pulling this guy back in the day when I was a little kid in Ultimate Rare. I was really, really excited when I did that. So glad to have him back. This time I've got him in Super. Looks great nonetheless. And Plasma Vice. Okay. Plasma Vice, I remember this guy coming out in a Yu-Gi-Oh! 10. And because it was an Elemental Hero card, I had to have it back in the day. So I got that 10. I think I actually pulled well from that 10. I'm not too sure though. But it has a great effect for all hero decks, and it's an awesome fusion between Sparkman and Blade Edge. On the next page, we've got the Elemental Hero Neos fusions. We have it where 1 Spatian plus 1 Neos are these two, and then this row here is 2 Spatians plus Neos makes this row here, and it's kind of the 1 plus 1 equals 2, where the Neospatian that makes this and the Neospatian that makes this go together to make that, and the page follows suit. Starting off, we've got Aqua Neos. I've got him in Ultra here, but I have to say that this card is one of the best looking Ultimates out there. If you can find him, pick him up. He looks awesome, in my opinion. Next up is Air Neos. This guy is deceptively hard to find. He was only printed once, and his price surely reflects that. I'm also sure that his price has something to do with the fact that you can OTK with this guy in a certain deck. But I really think that this guy needs a reprint. I'm not sure why he wasn't reprinted in the GX collection. Storm Neos, one of my favorite Neos cards just by design. I really like using this guy as a token and messing around with him in duels. Kind of randomly summon him incorrectly just to joke around with my opponent while they're fixing to beat me up with 2 Dantes or something along those lines. All in good fun, but great card. I really love his design. He's a great looking card. Flare Neos is the next one up. He starts off the Magma Neos evolution here with Flare Neos, Grand Neos, and then Magma Neos. And then last up on the page is Dark Neos, Glow Neos. I'm looking to get an ultra rare version of him. I only have the rare right now. And then Chaos Neos. Now, something I like to mention that these two, this guy came Ghost and Secret and Gladiator's Assault and maybe an ultra rare, I'm not sure, but I know for sure that this guy came Secret in Tactical Evolution because when I collected these guys a long time ago, he was a pain in the absolute rear to find. I searched for months to find this guy, and my friend picked it up for me at a regional. Of course, I was a little kid at that time, so I didn't have all the resources that I have now, but he was definitely a pain in the butt to find then, and he was kind of hard to find now. Thankfully, he got the reprint in the GX collection, and that's where this one's from. So on to the next page, we got Mariner Neos and Neos Knight, and then Divine Neos to finish off the Neos things. Something about Neos Knight, a friend of mine at my locals knew that I was looking to collect every elemental hero, and I was running low on trades, and he saw this running around one day and decided to pick it up on my behalf and just to straight up give it to me. So this guy is a kind of a symbol of that memory for me and kind of a proof that, you know, there's good people out there. He knows who he is, so thank you so much for this guy. Couldn't complete the collection without him, so thank you. And also, he looks awesome as an ultimate rare. Divine Neos, he's kind of like the big boss Neos card that was used in the last couple episodes of GX. I believe he was used in the Duel Against Darkness, as well as Neos Wiseman. I think those two came out at that time. But he's kind of, I think there's something along the lines of Sin 5 of something to summon him. He's got ridiculous summoning conditions, but he gains the effects of the ones you banish or something along those lines. He's a great card, and he's got a lot of levels. Okay, for the rest of the page, we've got the manga heroes. Starting up the lineup is a Japanese Absolute Zero that my friend picked up from me in Japan while he was home visiting his family there. He knew that I was collecting elemental heroes. He knew that I liked Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so he sent me a text and said, "Do I want this?" And I said, "Absolutely," and here it is now. I'll eventually pick up an English copy, but very happy to have this guy, and great memories to go along with it. Elemental Hero The Shining. I remember this guy back in the day. He came out as a promo, and that's where I got him during my first time collecting the elemental heroes. But I gotta say, this card looks great secret. It's one of my favorite secrets in the game, and it has great artwork. So, Nova Master, moving on. That guy was super hard to find this time around. I remember trying to pick one up at regionals, and nobody wanted to let it go. Of course, that's due to the popularity of Blaze Man from World Superstars coming out. He's the fire and grabs you the poly, and then you can go into this guy, and when he kills a monster, I believe, you get to draw a card. So his price is kind of up there right now, but yeah, he's got great artwork. He's a good-looking card. Glad to have him on board. And then last up, we've got Gaia, Great Tornado, and Escarado. Yeah, I remember having this guy in Secret, I believe, when I originally collected him, but I've got him in Super here. Great Tornado looks great as an Ultra. I'm not too fan of the common version that's running around. Escarado also looks great as an Ultra, and I'm also not a fan of the common or star foil version running around of him. I like him as Hollow. He looks really good. Okay, on to the later pages of the collection. We'll start off with Elemental Hero Core, Elemental Hero Terra Firma, and Elemental Hero Inferno for the last of the manga Elemental Heroes. This guy right here, Elemental Core, was the last piece that I needed to complete this collection. I actually got him today off of a friend who was willing to trade it to me after he decided he was no longer going to run Heroes. I haven't found too many copies of this guy in the wild. He's actually really hard to find, and the best place, if you're looking for him, the best place I'd suggest to find him is on retailers such as Amazon, or if you want to try eBay. He's hovering around $12 to $15. If you can pick him up for the $12 to $13 price tag, I'd pick him up. He's got a really devastating effect. He's really potent. in elemental hero decks and gives them a great boost for an offensive weapon. Terra Firma. I remember when this guy came out, I saw him on the cover of the GX manga, and I absolutely fell in love with his design and his color scheme. I thought he looked like some sort of Optimus Prime character, like a noble leader or something along those lines. That I never actually read the manga. I'm not too sure where he comes into play. I think he's like there's a big brother figure that to Jaden, and he uses him, and Jaden looks up to him, and then the manga eventually transfers focus over to Jaden as he grows up and plays him. But I don't know if Jaden actually plays this card or not. I think he does, though, later on, but I'm not sure. I'm no manga expert. But I really like this guy's design. I really like the earth in the background. I liked the play on words with Terra Firma, meaning the earth in the background. It looks really cool. Inferno, Heat, and Lady Heat. I believe he gains attack points or something along those lines. He's a great-looking fire elemental hero. There's not too many fire elemental heroes, so glad to have him on board. And then the rest of this page is dedicated to the Masked Heroes. For those of you guys that don't know, Masked Heroes have established a pattern of having a level 6 and a level 8 for each element that they represent. And so far they represent dark, light, water, fire, earth, and wind. And so far we've received these 3 guys as the level 6. We're still looking for the earth level 6, and the light level 6, and the wind level 6 has been confirmed. His name is Masked Hero Blast, and he does something along the lines of bouncing spell or trap cards. And I'm really, really hoping to pick him up if he comes out in Dimensions of Chaos or Breakers of Shadows as an OCG import. I really, really hope he comes out in one of those sets so I can pick him up for the collection. But we'll find out. He has not been announced yet for the TCG. But hopefully we will get him soon. Something just fell. I think it's some mess or something. But next up is the level, sorry, I didn't even get to the level 6s. For the level 6s, we've got Darklaw, Goka, I believe is his name. Goka. I don't really look at him too much because I don't run the Masked Heroes, so... but I've always been glad to have him. I think he's like a $2 to $3 card, so kind of hard to find. You can find him though. And then Masked Hero Vapor. This guy just got a random price increase for some reason. I'm not sure why. So if you guys want to inform me in the comments, but I'm very happy to pick this guy up when he was relatively cheap. And then for the level 8s, we got Masked Hero Dion for the Earth attribute. Masked Hero Acid, who is absolutely stunning in the Masked Hero deck, blows up all spells and traps, and has another effect of making monsters lose attack. He's the Water level 8. And then Divine Wind is the Wind level 8, who has an awesome effect, and he's probably in the 1 or 2 spot as far as my favorite Masked Heroes. I really wish that Stratos was back so we could use Stratos to go into this card, but unfortunately players, as we know, have abused Stratos in the past and will probably abuse him in the future if he does come back and is not errated. But I think bringing him back to 1 would be fair for the game, personally, myself. But that's just my opinion. Then moving on to the next page, we've got the Light level 8, Elemental Hero Koga, the Dark level 8, Elemental Hero Anki, and then I always mess up this guy's name, but he's Contrast Hero Chaos. It's because he's the only Contrast Hero that I don't really recognize his name when I get to him. But he's a great hero to have. Glad to have him on board with the hero collection. He's supposed to be a mix between a light and a dark, and that's where the contrast play on words comes in. And then the rest of the page, we've got the start of the Evil Heroes, and then Aster Phoenix's manga heroes, Vision Heroes. Starting off, we got Vision Hero Trinity and Vision Hero Adoration. I really, really wish that there was more of these guys. I'm no expert on the manga. Like I said, I haven't read it, but I do know that Aster Phoenix does use these guys, and I do not know if the manga is still continuing or not, or if Aster has a role in it or not at this point where the manga is at. But if it is continuing, I hope Aster comes back and gets to show some more of his Vision Heroes so that we can get some more printed, because they look really cool and they have great effects. Too bad you can't Miracle Fuse into them, though. And then last up on the page is the evil heroes that Jaden used while he was running around as the Supreme King in the GX anime. You got, starting off is the twisted version of the Flame Wingman fusion, Avion and Burstinatrix, Inferno Wing. And then next up is the evil hero version of Thunder Giant. I believe his name is Lightning Golem, and he's Sparkman and Clayman. And then you have the equivalent to Rampart Blaster, which is Infernal Sniper. That's Clayman and Burstinatrix, which is really, really cool. I like that art. And then the evil version of Wild Wingman, Wild Cyclone, and you use Avion and Wildheart to go into him. I remember when I was little, I had these guys in an actual deck. I used them. I think it actually corresponded with the season that Jaden was the Supreme King in when they came out. I'm not too sure, though. My memory is a little bit fuzzy. But I do remember playing with these guys, and I remember going into him a lot, and one of the guys on the next page. And I really like this guy's effect. I remember this guy's effect being really strong to use, too. And then last up, we've got Evil Hero Dark Gaia, and which really makes me question where the Light Gaia is on the Elements or Hero side. And then Evil Hero Malicious Fiend. I had to take that one slow because I always want to say Malicious Edge, which is one of the fusion materials that you need to go into this guy. But this guy's kind of like the boss monster card for the Evil Heroes. And he was the other one that I went into a lot, and I really, really liked him. He's on board. He's got attack stats of 3,500. He's really strong. He's a cool card. And then ending our collection is a type of honorary fusion for me, Neos Wiseman. In the show, I believe it was a fusion, and in some parts of the world, I believe he was printed as a fusion, but not in the TCG, at least not the North American TCG. But he's supposed to be a fusion of U-Belt and Neos. And this card, for me, it kind of represents Jaden kind of coming of age and accepting himself, it's different sides of himself with U-Belt inside of him and the Spring King, but also fighting alongside Neos and doing good things for the light side of the show, because you can see here that his attribute is not dark, it's actually light. So I think there's a lot to say about this card. I really like its artwork. I really like its stat line. I've never been able to summon him, but he's just a great looking card in general. But yeah. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in and exploring my collection binder with me. This has been Cooper from Team UGNXT. I'll see you guys next time.